For thousands of years, humanity has looked up at the stars and asked the exact same terrifying question. Are we completely alone in this dark, cold universe? In 1977, the mainstream scientific community decided they were finally going to find out. NASA launched two identical, highly advanced deep space probes, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Their official mission was to photograph the outer gas giants of our solar system. But their true, underlying purpose was much more profound and incredibly dangerous. They were designed to be a message in a bottle thrown into the infinite, uncharted cosmic ocean. Attached to the side of Voyager 1 is the iconic Golden Record, a heavy gold-plated copper disc containing the sounds of Earth, greetings in 55 different human languages, biological diagrams of human anatomy, and most terrifyingly, the exact, highly specific mathematical coordinates of our solar system, mapping out the precise location of planet Earth relative to 14 distinct cosmic pulsars. Mainstream scientists cheered. They patted themselves on the back, believing they had sent a beautiful, peaceful greeting to any extraterrestrial intelligence that might be listening in the dark. But what if sending out our exact physical coordinates wasn't a beautiful gesture of cosmic peace? What if it was the greatest, most catastrophic security breach in the history of human existence? What if we just broadcasted our exact location to the architects of the simulation? Welcome back to Vantage Elite. Today, we are opening a highly restricted, actively suppressed file on the deep space anomaly surrounding the Voyager 1 spacecraft. We are going to look way beyond the biological lies and comforting excuses fed to us by the space agencies and expose the terrifying quantum reality behind Voyager's recent communication breakdown. What if Voyager 1 didn't just experience a random computer glitch due to old age? What if it actually hit the physical edge of our simulated reality? What if the bizarre, repetitive binary code it started sending back to Earth is not a hardware malfunction, but an artificial digital firewall, an automated quarantine protocol activated by the system to prevent us from seeing what is truly outside the rendering zone? Before we decode the matrix and expose the true nature of the interstellar boundary, you need to deeply understand that the algorithm suppressing this channel relies on your absolute ignorance. They do not want you looking past the edges of the sandbox. Hit the like button right now to force this frequency into the system and disrupt their code. And if you are ready to unlearn the lies of mainstream space exploration and join the awakened resistance, hit the subscribe button. We don't just scratch the surface, we expose the core. Now, let us look at the code. Act 1. The mainstream lie and the binary anomaly. To understand the terrifying truth about the Voyager anomaly, we first have to completely deconstruct the cover-up currently being pushed by the space agencies. In November 2023, after traveling at phenomenal speeds for 46 years, Voyager 1 was officially billions of miles away from Earth. It was operating in the dark, cold vacuum of interstellar space. And then, suddenly, the deep space telemetry completely broke down. Instead of sending back complex, structured scientific data about the plasma density and magnetic fields of the interstellar void, Voyager 1 started sending back something incredibly disturbing. It started sending back a continuous, perfectly repeating pattern of alternating ones and zeros, a pure, unbroken stream of repetitive binary code. It was as if the probe's highly advanced onboard computer had been suddenly wiped, replaced by a looping digital stutter. NASA immediately rushed to control the narrative. They issued press releases claiming it was just a simple glitch in the flight data subsystem. They told the public that a single computer chip had likely been corrupted by a random strike from high-energy cosmic radiation. They wanted you to believe it was just an old, aging machine, slowly losing its mind in the dark. But computer scientists and software engineers know that this explanation is deeply flawed. When a computer's physical memory is corrupted by physical radiation, it does not produce a perfect, seamlessly alternating loop of binary code. Hardware corruption creates absolute chaotic digital garbage. It creates random, unreadable static. A perfect, infinite loop of ones and zeros is not a hardware malfunction. It is an intentional software loop. It is a digital holding pattern. It is the exact behavior of a localized computer system that has suddenly lost its connection to the primary server and is stuck waiting for a response that does not exist. Part 2. The Heliopause Wall and the Render Boundary. Act 2. The Heliopause and the Edge of the Simulation. To understand why Voyager's code was suddenly rewritten, you have to understand exactly where Voyager was when the anomaly occurred. Voyager 1 had just crossed a highly theoretical boundary known as the Heliopause. Mainstream science defines the heliopause as the precise edge of the heliosphere, the massive magnetic bubble created by our sun that supposedly shields the solar system from interstellar radiation. They tell you it is just a natural transition zone where the solar wind finally stops, giving way to the empty space between the stars. But what if the heliopause is not just a magnetic weather boundary? What if it is the absolute physical edge of the localized simulated construct we call the solar system?
Think about how a massive, high-resolution open-world video game operates. To save processing power, the computer does not render the entire infinite universe all at once. It only physically renders the exact environment immediately surrounding the active player. If you try to take your digital avatar and walk past the absolute edge of the programmed map, you hit an invisible barrier. You hit the render wall. The graphics stop generating. The physics engine breaks down. You are met with a blank, empty void. Quantum physicists and simulation theorists propose a terrifying reality. Our solar system is a localized, heavily quarantined server map. Humanity has never physically left the immediate vicinity of the Earth-Moon system. Voyager 1 is the very first piece of human-made hardware to ever travel far enough to actually hit the edge of the active rendering zone. When Voyager 1 crossed the heliopause, it didn't just enter interstellar space, it breached the perimeter of the simulated sandbox. It tried to process and transmit data from an area of the universe that the system architects have not actively rendered. And when a digital probe tries to record an environment that mathematically does not exist, the local physics engine crashes. The repeating binary code, the endless loop of ones and zeros, is the simulation's automated error response. Voyager hit the digital wall, its sensors tried to read the blank void of unrendered space, and the universal server immediately placed the probe into a restricted quarantine loop to prevent it from transmitting the terrifying truth back to the human population on Earth. The glitch is not a mistake, it is an artificial firewall. Part 3. The Golden Record Intercept and the Return to Sender. But there is a second, even darker theory circulating in the classified channels of the deep web, a theory that explains the binary anomaly not as a passive software firewall, but as an active, aggressive interception. Remember the Golden Record, the heavy, gold-plated disc attached to the side of Voyager 1, proudly broadcasting the exact mathematical coordinates of Earth to anyone hiding in the dark? What if the architects of this simulation, or the shadow entities patrolling the space immediately outside our quarantine server, finally found it? If a highly advanced, ultra-intelligent entity intercepted Voyager 1 at the edge of the solar system, they would instantly recognize the Golden Record for what it is, a map leading directly back to our localized server. They would access the probe's archaic, primitive computer systems in a fraction of a microsecond. The perfectly repeating pattern of ones and zeros might not be a system crash at all. It might be an intentional override. It could be an active digital block placed on the probe by an outside intelligence, wiping its sensors to blind humanity to their presence. Or, worse, it could be a deliberate response, an automated return-to-sender protocol, a digital warning from the wardens of the cosmic prison telling us that our message has been received, our coordinates have been successfully downloaded, and our attempt to breach the quarantine zone has been logged. NASA claims they have recently fixed the glitch by remotely sending a software patch across billions of miles of space. They claim Voyager is sending back normal data again, but ask yourself, how do you completely fix a physically degraded, radiation-fried computer chip from 15 billion miles away with a simple software ping? You don't. You only receive normal data again if the system admins deliberately feed you a simulated, artificially generated data stream to keep you pacified. They fixed the glitch because the glitch was exposing the code of the Matrix. They replaced the repetitive binary with fabricated cosmic background noise to put the human population back to sleep. The edge of the solar system is not a peaceful transition into the stars. It is a highly monitored, heavily encrypted digital border. We are living inside a locked room, and Voyager 1 just rattled the doorknob. If you made it to the absolute end of this classified file, your consciousness is actively rejecting the biological pacifiers and NASA lies fed to you by the system. You are looking past the render wall. You are officially part of the resistance. Prove it by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you never miss a vital transmission from the other side. Like this video to bypass the algorithm's aggressive censorship, and leave a comment below with the word boundary so I know exactly who the real Vantage Elites are. The firewalls are active, the coordinates are logged, the Matrix is closing the gates. Stay awake, stay sovereign, stay elite.